Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My topic is Syed Ali Isharaf's concept on faith-based education for multicultural country. Professor Syed Ali Isharaf was one of the leading Muslim scholars who contributed for creating a new Muslim education movement in the name of Islamization of knowledge and education, particularly Islamization of education. He was a Secretary General of the famous event, First World Conference Muslim Education, held in 1977 in Makkah. Through the conference, there is a dynamic advance. Islamic intellectual movement was initiated around the Muslim world with the participation and support of the leader Muslim scholars from all sides, traditional, classical, and also modern. Professor Syed Ali Isharaf was a student and teacher of University of Cambridge, was born in Bangladesh, spent many years in UK, worked for few Muslim countries, particularly for also Malaysia. Why I am talking about his personal engagement with the countries? Because Bangladesh is not a very famous multicultural country as a multicultural country. Professor Ali Isharaf, when was working for develop Islamization of education, he thought from the perspective of UK, particularly for the vast experience of Europe, the Muslim cannot ignore the people of member of the other societies. Muslim peoples are engaged with multicultural environment. If we want to take initiative to introduce education, we have to also think how we can adjust the desire, the position of other peoples. In this case, they thought that we have to design an integrated process for Islamization education. With the support of the then Malaysian government, he had arranged particularly two very important symposium in the conference on the subject. After the conference, with the participation and support of the other representative of other religion, they made an agreed statement on education. It was famous that time as an agreed statement to develop, to introduce the new kind of education system for whole world based on religion. It's called faith-based education. What was the context that time before them? They particularly emphasized on the context of secularism. They found, in the light of Professor Ali Isharaf writing, the secularism which excluded religion from the all kind of sphere of modern life, education, culture, literature, modern and other system. Particularly education system was leading by the concept of Western modernity, Western civilization, which is actually based on anti-religion. To the context of multicultural perspective, they agreed to receive together, to collect all kind of traits and values and principles from the various religions. They thought that if we include all kind of religious values, they emphasize a special point, the faith on one God. All of the representative of the various religion, they agreed on point that we believe on one God. It is fundamentally referred the Tawheed. They did not use the word Tawheed, but they said, we believe the one God who actually command the world. We have come from here, we will back to Him. That was a fundamental essence of the belief on the faith-based education. Through this belief, conceptually proposed the religious perspective. To Muslim or to believer, religious perspective is more important. Although modernism or modern life trying to introduce us or trying to teach us the sociological perspective is more important for our professional life. But as a believer, particularly as a Muslim, we have to give more emphasis on our religious perspective. But Professor Sayyid Ali Isharaf and his comrades and other friends tried to integrate both perspectives. They said we have to give emphasis on our religious perspective as well as our professional perspective. Professional perspective is related with the modern equipments, modern development, modern issues. But sometimes, a majority of the time, modern perspective, modern issues are not interested to give more emphasis on the religious perspective. In this case, faith-based education, actually it has come from the actually conceptual philosophy of Islamization of education. The Makkah conference took many recommendations. One of the fundamental recommendations was the integration of religious traditional education with the modern perspective. They said, as a Muslim, we cannot ignore the development of the modern time. Majority of the participants of that conference actually are produce of modern education. Among Professor Ali Isharaf, Sayyid Nakibullah Taz, Ismail Rizal Faruqi, Sayyid Hossain Nasir are the leading scholar of that conference. All are actually produce of modern education. But personally, they are completely related with the fundamental beliefs of Islam. That was a good point. From this point, they said we will make an integrated process in the name of Islamization knowledge or Islamization education. It will guide the Muslim world. Majority of the people knows the IIM is one of the best example through the philosophy of Makkah conference. So this development actually inspired to introduce, to produce, to explore faith-based education that will regard, that will respect other member of the religion to adjust in a harmonious place with Muslim. So if Muslim follows the faith-based education, they can make a good friendship with other members of the religions, particularly Hindu, Buddha, Christian and others. So concept of Professor Sayyid Ali Isharaf or faith-based education should be studied from the various point of view, particularly for a multicultural country like Britain, like Malaysia. Among the Muslim world, Malaysia is a leading country. Malaysia can introduce the faith-based education with the Islamic wasatiyah to guide also other multicultural country among the Muslim world. Thank you.
Thank you so much.